kind attention. My name is Ramprasad Misra. I am a research associate in the Hegemann group in the Humboldt-University of Berlin. And tonight I'll be briefly telling about a story, some of the messengers that we know from nature and how my research is associated with it. So, first I show you one drawing by one of my friends, and please tell me, after seeing this drawing, the first word that comes to your mind. Yes? Social media, communications, anyone? Yeah, so I thought it would be more communications. So we know that communications is an important part of life. We live in the world of communication. And it is believed that the communication will be so easy nowadays. But in reality, we see that the communication is still very important. Even when you have a member of two people, the communication is not always very easy. Now let us go to a bigger system consisting of a few government offices, and let us try to understand how communications work. So I will give you an example of one of my friends who came here last year and to join a university, and he first went to a bank to open an account. And when he went to the bank told that you cannot have a bank account until you get the city registration certificate. So he went to the city registration certificate office. And when he reached the city registration office, they told that you cannot get a city registration certificate until you have the signed contract from your university. Then, what happens? He goes to the university. And when he reached the university told, okay, sorry, we have sent the contract to your home through post. And it was found later that due to a mistyping of his postcode, the letter actually reached some random destination, not to his home. So now probably we understood that communication is really important in all parts of life, from a personal life to professional life. And now let us consider an even bigger system that not only has few hundred or few thousand members, it consists of few trillions of members. So then probably you know that how this communication will work. And one of the systems that I am going to tell you tonight is our body, that have trillions of cells that need to communicate each other to keep us healthy and alive. So just consider an example that you see something dangerous and you need to run away, and your brain fails to communicate with the muscles of your leg, and what will happen? You cannot run away. So it's very important. We think that probably the cells in our body are static, but they're not. They communicate with each other, and they communicate really effectively without telling us the story. So I will briefly tell you what I know so far about it, and of course there are many things that are still unknown. Now here actually how the cells send a message. They communicate by sending chemical signals. So what happens that if one cell sends chemical signal, only the cells that has the receptor for it will receive the signal, while the others not. Just if I give a simile here, that if I want to call a friend standing at the end of this room, only his phone will actually ringing, not the person standing next to him. Of course, the person standing next to him can get a call from someone else. So this is how our cells in our body also works. Here I just briefly want to tell you two small scientific things. That generally the messenger that brings the signal to the cell does not penetrate. Of course there are exceptions, and it reaches the cell membrane and then this work is stopped. And then there is another guy that relays the message inside the cell. Generally they are called second messengers, and I have made a cartoon for this, that maybe this room is crowded and no one has access to this room, and he tells one important message to all of the speakers here. And then the speaker tells this message to everybody. So now everybody knows that what actually the message was. So this is how actually the cell works. We can see the first messenger that are generally hormones, sometimes lipids and other proteins that brings the message towards the cell. And the message is relayed by some kind of G protein. And there is another enzyme, like also a protein, that actually activated the inactive second messengers to active second messengers. And then after the second messenger is activated, then the cells know what to do. What to do means what? To divide, to move, or even to die. This is how even cells die to keep us alive. So this is really fascinating. And the protein or the system that we are actually working on at Humboldt University is called enzymerhodopsins. It's a special class of protein that consists of two parts. One is a rhodopsin part, that is similar protein that we have in our eyes. And there is another part called cyclase part, which binds the substrate like inactive second messengers at the dark state. And when the suitable light falls on it, it goes to the we call scientifically M state, but actually we generally call light activated state, that releases the second messengers. So our work actually based on this. We are working several of this protein to understand how this message is being transformed and actually produced and transferred inside the cells of our body. And now you can ask me, what is our broader goal? What do we want to achieve by doing this? So one of the important disease is known to be regulated by the second messenger is the blood pressure. So this is one of the very important disease worldwide to be taken care of. So if I go back to my previous slide, previous cartoon I showed you that one guy gets angry on his child or parent or partner and say, okay, we need to talk. And then he says, cool, don't worry, I shine a light on you and your blood pressure goes up. And then the person looks like this. It's so beautiful outside. Thank you very much.